listening to the Art of Homeschooling podcast, where we help parents cultivate creativity and connection at home. I'm your host, Jean Miller, and here on this podcast, you'll find stories and inspiration to bring you the confidence you need to make homeschooling work for your family. Let's begin. I'm here today with some encouragement for you to just slow down. It's December as I'm recording this episode, and this is such a good time to focus on slowing down. I know things can seem even busier than usual this time of year, but in this episode, I want to invite you to think about how and when and where you might slow down. To me, the winter solstice on or around December 21st, 22nd is perfect for contemplating how to slow down and relax. One good reason to slow down is to be able to spend more energy building and nurturing relationships with our relationship with ourselves as well as our loved ones. As Kim John Payne of Simplicity Parenting says, in our fast-paced world, it is critical to carve out time for stillness and solitude. Only then can we truly connect with ourselves and others. And really, our strongest connections are built in the margins, in the downtime, in the unstructured time of our days and our weeks and our lives. It truly is okay to slow down, to take a break, and to rest. When we as parents can spend more time playing, listening, doing what inspires us, we often see things we don't normally notice. And most importantly, we can model slowing down for our children. Listen up as I share what that might look like during the holiday season. But first, a little foundation. One big element of Waldorf early childhood education is this idea of the adults in children's lives doing meaningful work and working with our hands in a very visible way. When children are young, the goal is that they then take that meaningful activity that they observe into their play. They watch us, they notice what we're doing, and they imitate it in their play. That's why we want to engage in daily tasks that are observable when young children are around, as opposed to working on the computer, watching TV, being on our phones. Not that we never do those things, but being more mindful about how what we do affects our children is a really good place to start. When my kiddos were small, I really made an effort to limit what I was doing online, to focus on doing meaningful creative work, not just with the kids, but around the kids. Now, I know it was a lot easier then than it is now. I recognize how much has shifted since my kiddos were small. And I know that this is harder now than ever with our smartphones and social media. But I also know that it's still worth the effort to do things that children can imitate, do things that inspire us so that we model that for our children, not only when they're little, but also as they grow. When children see us on screens, looking at our devices, or even talking on the phone, they can't see the whole of the interaction. All they see is our energy going towards something that's actually invisible. But when they see us cooking, sweeping, folding laundry, doing handwork, they can see the whole of the activity and they can take that into their being, into their imagination. And when they're young, they transform that with their imagination into play. As they grow older, they want to join in more. So here's my question for you this holiday season. How would slowing down and engaging in creative activities make ripples in the fabric of your family culture? What would it be like for your children to see you as the caregiver, as the parent, modeling how to slow down and enjoy something relaxing, beautiful, and inspiring? This might be anything from making gifts, baking cookies, or putting up beautiful holiday decorations. I also encourage you to try a handwork project, as I said, that perhaps even challenges you. Something like making a folded window paper star. To do that, rather than always trying to do the things, right? To be doing, get the to-do list done, always be so busy. Let's try modeling how to slow down and relax for our children. What would that mean for them to see us slowing down and being creative and working with our hands? So, window stars, I'm thinking of window stars at this time of year because I often encourage families to make window stars, hang them up, take pictures of them. You can even share it with the hashtag Window Star Challenge. You can go look at that on Instagram and see lots of stars that other families have made. But window stars are just the thing to try. Recently, one of my team members, Dominique, shared with me that in her family, they've always approached window stars as an assembly line, where one person, usually an adult, cuts the paper, then another does the folding, and the children can then do the assembling and the gluing. But each person just has one task. So everyone has a role, and the kids could be part of making the stars. But another possibility is just for you to sit down and start folding yourself, not even necessarily inviting your children to join in unless they inquire. This is a way to give everyone space to do what they want to do, while also modeling for them our own desire to slow down, relax, and create something beautiful with our hands. Now, if you've never made a folded paper window star before, I'd love to show you how. If you're listening to this episode in real time, I invite you to join me and other heart-centered homeschoolers in the Inspired at Home community, where we're having a make-along to craft our own window stars. It's on Thursday, December 14th, 2023. And this is just one aspect of the Inspired at Home community. Every year inside the community, in the month of December, we focus on handwork plus stories. We actually have over 18 wonderful project tutorials paired with incredibly wonderful stories, books that you can use as the framework for your December homeschooling, to keep it really simple, to slow down. And we do these live make-alongs on Zoom every month. So check out the community at artofhomeschooling.com/inspired at home. All right, back to this idea of slowing down. Let's allow our children to see us slow down. So often, as homeschooling parents, we're asking ourselves questions all day long, right? Questions like, what should I tweak in our homeschooling? How could this lesson have gone better? What should I do differently? How can I help this child get this concept? How can I help their behavior improve? How can I shift gears? We're always focused on improving things constantly. So, how about if for a couple of weeks this month, we just stop? Stop all the assessing and the judging and the trying to figure it out and just be. What a relief that would be, and what a great thing for our kids to see us just being. You might keep a brainstorming list of homeschooling ideas. If you're always thinking and always coming up with possibilities, you could keep a list of ideas to try in January during this slowdown, but no editing or judging. Just keep an ongoing list and add to it if ideas pop into your head. But for now, I invite you just to stop all the improvement energy and see what happens. You can use your time to model slowing down, relaxing, making things with your hands. Not everything has to be educational all the time. We don't even have to involve our children in everything we do. Surprise, surprise. We don't have to be directing all day long. We can sometimes do things for ourselves and allow our children just to notice what we're doing or not. Get the materials out yourself and simply do what inspires you. Some children will join in and others won't. And that's perfectly okay. A cup of tea can help. As Lemony Snicket says in one of his books, tea is difficult to drink quickly because it is hot and it needs time to steep. And so a cup of tea forces you to slow down and think as you wait for it to cool and become more flavorful. So let's all slow down and relax. Find something to make with your hands. Whether your children choose to join in or not, they will notice. They will feel the energy. And that is a beautiful gift to give our children this holiday season. Happy holidays to you and your family. And here's to us all slowing down and savoring the simple pleasures day by day. That's all for today, my friend. But here's what I want you to remember. Rather than perfection, let's focus on connection. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll see you on the next episode of the Art of Homeschooling podcast.